In the glittering world of the Stark family, a storm was brewing, one that would shake the very foundations of their empire. The heir Idrias Stark was celebrating his birthday, a grand affair that marked his official entry into the family business. He stood beside his father, a man of immense power and wealth, ready to accept his destiny. But fate, as it often does, had a cruel twist in store. That night, a night that should have been his triumph, became his downfall. Idris's stepmother, a woman with a smile as sweet as honey but a heart of stone, Maji Hermou, she had been plotting for years, patiently waiting for the perfect moment to strike. And she wasn't alone. By her side was Idris's girlfriend, the woman he loved and trusted, the woman he planned to marry. Together, they orchestrated a coup, a vicious betrayal that left Idris reeling. They drugged him, framed him for a scandal that tarnished his name and reputation beyond repair. His father, blinded by the fabricated evidence and the venomous whispers of his wife, disowned, he was cast out, stripped of his name, his wealth, and his future. With nothing but the clothes on his back, Idris was thrown onto the streets, a fallen prince, with no kingdom to call his own. The world he knew, a world of luxury and privilege, had vanished overnight. For 5 long years, Idris lived in the shadows. He endured hardship and humiliation, the taunts and scorn of those who once admired him. But the fire of vengeance never died. It smoldered within him, a burning ember waiting for the right wind to fan it into a roaring flame. He worked tirelessly, honing his skills, gathering allies, and building his own power from the ground up. Far from the prying eyes of the Stark family, he was no longer the naive young man who was so easily deceived. The streets had forged him into a man of steel, patient and calculating. Meanwhile, back in the Stark mansion, his stepmother and former girlfriend reveled in their victory. They had seized control of the Stark Corporation. Believing Idris was gone for good, a forgotten ghost of the past, they lived a life of opulence, confident in their unassailable position. But they had made a fatal miscalculation. They had underestimated Idris. One day, the city was abuzz with news of a mysterious new tycoon who had emerged from nowhere. A man whose wealth and influence rivaled even the Starks. This enigmatic figure began systematically acquiring companies, shaking the business world to its core. No one knew his name, only that he was a force to be reckoned with. This was Idris, returned from his exile, ready to reclaim what was rightfully his. The climax arrived at the annual Stark Corporation Gala, the very event where his downfall had begun. His stepmother stood on stage, basking in the applause, the undisputed queen of the corporate world. It was then that the grand doors of the ballroom swung open. A figure emerged from the shadows, his presence commanding the attention of everyone in the room. It was Idris. Gasps rippled through the crowd. He looked different, his face hardened by years of struggle, his eyes holding a cold, determined glint. He was no longer the boy they had cast out. He was a king returning to claim his throne. He walked calmly towards the stage, a faint, knowing smile playing on his lips. "It's been a long time," he said, his voice echoing through the silent hall. His stepmother's face turned pale, her confident facade crumbling in an instant. His former girlfriend stared in disbelief, terror dawning in her eyes. "You thought you could get rid of me," Idris continued, his voice low but carrying an undeniable weight of authority. "You took everything from me. My name, my family, my honor. You left me with nothing. But you forgot one thing. You can't destroy a Stark." What followed was a swift and decisive reckoning. With the evidence he had painstakingly gathered over 5 years, Idris exposed their treachery to the world. He revealed the conspiracy, the lies, the web of deceit they had woven. The truth came crashing down on them like a tidal wave, sweeping away their ill-gotten power and prestige. In a single night, the tables were turned. Idris not only reclaimed his position as the head of the Stark family, but also expanded his empire far beyond what it had ever been. He had returned not just as an heir, but as a conqueror. His stepmother and former girlfriend lost everything. Their fall from grace was as spectacular as their rise. They were left with nothing but the bitter taste of their own betrayal, forced to face the consequences of their actions. Idris Stark stood once more at the pinnacle of power, not because of his birthright, but because of his resilience, his intelligence, and his unwavering will. His story became a legend, a testament to the fact that even in the darkest of times, the spirit of a true leader can never be extinguished. It's a tale of how a man, pushed to the absolute limit, can rise from the ashes, stronger and more formidable than ever before. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story of revenge and redemption, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more incredible tales. See you next time.